How's it? Today's April 22nd, Wednesday, and I did a ton of overhead stuff today. Started with behind the neck power jerks, moved into push presses, and then you can see the workout there. But it was kind of interesting because given how my hip has been feeling, the power jerks and the push presses, I feel normally don't really affect it, but today it felt like it was being pushed and it was uncomfortable for quite a bit. Um, I think it's kind of like when I dip too quickly and when I reach my dip height, my hip is it's not happy pushing from there and like reversing the momentum and being able to actually push really hard at that position is kind of challenging. So yeah, it's work up to three doubles at a pretty moderate weight. Um, I wasn't sure how heavy I wanted to go, so I just kind of went a little bit slowly. Ideally, I would be able to power jerk for doubles behind the back, behind the neck, maybe like 250, but I only ended up at 225. And it's I guarantee you, its main factor is because of that hip thing, and then secondarily is because I don't practice behind the neck power jerks very often. When I was doing these lifts, it felt like I was catching the jerk really low, but you can see here I'm barely even like bending my knees. I'm like not even at quarter squat. Like my dip is lower than my catch height, but it felt like my knees were bent more, and it felt like my hip was kind of catching the brunt of it. So I did want to take a little bit of extra time to like regroup between reps. Yeah, same thing again. My dip was lower than my catch height. I think that's a good sign. But I think two things are forcing me to do that. One is my hip, and two is like this is actually a pretty lightweight, like relative to how much I'm actually capable of jerking. Yeah. That would be my three doubles there, and then I moved into some push presses. This is just work up to a heavy set of three, and then back off for three sets of five, like 10 to 15% back off. So again, I wasn't sure how heavy I was going to be able to do this for. I think the week before this, I actually did five sets of five at 185, or it might have been three sets of five. Um, I think it was five, but in any case, I ended up with 195 today for the push press. These didn't feel as smooth as they were in previous weeks. I think it's honestly because of the hip again. It's it's a really unfortunate thing for me to keep referring to that and saying that that's what's limiting me, but I do believe that that is the case, and I'm trying to do what I can so that I can maintain the strength that I already built. But yeah, so if I did five last week, which I do think I did, 195 for three in overall intensity and volume, like tonnage or whatever, is lower than 185. But um, I did do power jerk right before this, and so yeah, here's my set at 195, and then I drop 15% ish for 165 for sets of five, and these were pretty hard. They're a lot harder than I thought they were going to be. Like 165 is about how much I weigh, so it's kind of weird for me to be saying that this is difficult. I was able to press this for a set of one in the past, so it's again, it's hard to say why it's so difficult. But yeah, I get through them all. Here's my final set here. And then after this, I moved into some pause front squats, kind of like tempo pause front squats, with a band around my knee. These are to just get my body moving through the range of motion. I thought they were going to be really sore. I thought I was going to have to cut depth, but I was able to go all the way down. It was like a little discomforting, uncomfortable, but it wasn't like super painful like it's been in the past. So I'm pretty happy with that. And because I forgot to do those clean pulls yesterday, he threw in these Romanian snatch Romanian deadlifts here. These don't feel like they used to feel. There's just definitely something going on in my hip. I can't quite set my hips as far back as I normally do, and I can feel it. Like my range of motion is a lot more limited than it used to be. As far as weight, he said to try to go around 100% of my best recent snatch. And he said that would be really good for a set of 5. And I only did 195, which isn't really close to my best recent snatch, but it's what I could do today. And so it's, I'm going to improve on that for sure. I did some inverted rows here. First time I've done them at home, so I wasn't sure how the setup would work. But this turned out okay. And then finish up the workout, I did some dumbbell overhead walks. These are a little strange outside because of the wind and everything, so I've been doing them at a lot lighter weight than I was at school. I'm not too concerned about the weight at this time because everything is just kind of up in the air given that the situation is not the best. And yeah, that would be it for today.